Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start recording so we can be letting people in as they come. But I do want to start at 9 o'clock at night every night, and I want to try to keep this to be about 15 minutes. So I won't take much of your time, especially because I know we're all already exhausted. Last meeting, we discussed collective grief and how we're feeling about the state of our country. And we also acknowledged that the system that we currently have has been breaking for a while. And this is an opportunity for us to rebuild our democracy that better serves the majority. If we have to fight, then we fight for all of it: human rights, affordable health care, and the power for people to be over corporate and billionaire money and be more important. The best hope we have is our strategy to organize, unite, and fight back. But tonight's glimmer of hope is about the length of authoritarian regimes. I looked up just how long authoritarian regimes last because none of them last forever. And actually, they are a lot shorter than things like democracy as far as length of time. The average, unfortunately, for an authoritarian regime is 13 years. And as scary as that sounds, that average is really because there's quite a few outliers that are much longer that are skewing the average to one side. So, for example, Gaddafi was an authoritarian in Libya for 42 years, and then North Korea is a very unique authoritarian regime that actually has been passed down across generations. That skews some of the numbers to make the average be 13, even though I don't think the median or most of authoritarian regimes would be quite so long. What it did say for the length of time that was the shortest for an authoritarian regime was 3 to 5 years. A lot of that time, it tends to be military coups and infighting amongst who's actually in charge causes the authoritarian regime to fail. But a lot of other times it's because it's an authoritarian regime that's related to a persona. And I would argue that that is what we are currently under. Specifically, if that person happens to pass away, it can even crumble faster. So, the glimmer of hope that I have for you tonight is we're going to talk about the authoritarian regime and our mindset to be 3 to 5 years because we know there's limits supposedly on power and timing of how long elected officials can hold office. We would hope 4 years at best. And maybe even things can change sooner, and maybe 3 years at the shortest. So if it's 3 years, we're 1 year in, and a third of it's already over. So the glimmer of hope that I have is this isn't going to last forever, and this might actually not last that long. As soon as it stops, we have to be ready. And to make it stop, we have to fight now. If you haven't yet, please watch our video for our first meeting just to understand our mission and structure better. But also, the quick summary I can give you is that we unite, regardless of political party and other differences, as a group of people with good morals. We understand that our collective power is in three forms: our public opinion, our labor, and our spending. Our mission is to fill ballots of elected officials' offices with people with good morals and have a following that will vote for that group of candidates with good morals so they can run collectively. The resistance, as we all can probably agree, is already moving too slow against the takeover. That's why we're going to meet daily at 9 p.m. We need to move fast and we need to organize. We will not be sharing breaking news or discussing opinions. We don't have time. We're not your place for news. We're just your place for action. The first list I can give you of actionable steps that are available to you, collective power in mind, is January 20th, the Free America Walkout at 2 p.m. It's related to the Women's March. You can look up information online, but basically, walk out at 2 p.m. on January 20th. January 23rd, locals that are in the area of Minneapolis, but also this could become more nationwide, and we can encourage it to be nationwide. There's a general strike on January 23rd. Now, as far as our movement, our website to pledge will be finished in the next few days, and we will share on all of our socials when it's ready for you to sign. Our Facebook group already has our list of morals posted for you to review, and you can share it with your friends and family now. If you agree, once it's ready to sign, our power is in our numbers, and that's just the most important thing that you can do. I understand that signing a pledge may be all that some can do, and that's okay. But if you happen to have more time, the next action step you can take is helping us with distribution. First of all, with distribution, we're currently creating media kits and swipe files for easy sharing. It's easy as copy and paste. We'll share everything on our socials for you to share with others. You can also email us at usmoralcompass@gmail.com to request that we send you kits directly. If you only have a few minutes beyond signing our pledge, the next best thing you can do is to share. If you have time for personal outreach, personal conversations, one-on-one, conversations over the phone, via text, via messenger, or in person with people that are close to you are really truly going to be the most effective. I can tell you that social media is already starting to censor what is being shared in the algorithm, and it's always leaning in a direction that morals don't. Because of that, I'm afraid that we can't rely on the algorithms. We have to rely on things to be able to spread organically. Personal conversations that you can have with like-minded individuals, or maybe even think out of the box of individuals that think differently than you to join this movement, are the best ways to convert somebody. Sharing on social media can be done on your own page, in groups, and also in comments of people that like what you've shared or said. You can share by looking just through the contact list in your phone, copy and paste and send a message. You can share with your friends list on your socials, and you can share with your followers on your socials. The movement has to rely on being organic. If you need to share in a more anonymous way, you can share in Facebook groups anonymously, and you can also share on Reddit under a new account. If you have more time than just 10 or 15 minutes to share the word, volunteer as a task manager. For now, you can email usmoralcompass@gmail.com to volunteer if you happen to have time. You can message us through our Facebook group or our page, US Moral Compass and the Moral Compass Collective. We have tasks that take less than 15 minutes, so you can volunteer even if you don't have much time to donate. I understand that a lot of the problem with the movement, other than it moving too slow, is that people don't think they have enough time or don't understand how they can get involved. Our goal is to make it so that you can get involved with as little as 15 minutes, complete a task that helps us with our goals, and move on if 15 minutes was all you had, or give 15 minutes or an hour the following week if you're able to continue. For example, some tasks that we have for our task managers. Task number one is to create a spreadsheet of groups and influencers that can assist in outreach and organization. For example, one would be the ACLU. Specifically, I don't want the groups to be leaning towards the right or the left. Either way, they should be groups of all different types and all different sides. That's why we would like for all different types of people to volunteer as a task manager to come up with groups to reach out to. The second would be almost the same thing, and to reach out to influencers and Facebook groups and social media groups, as well as organizations that exist on the ground. With task number two, contacting those groups and influencers after we've made the list is imperative. We have an outreach letter that explains our mission, and so they can easily understand everything we're about, how simple our mission is, and how inclusive it is. And just if they would like to share, we can offer a media kit for them to be able to share just as easily as one with our own personal sharing kits will be able to do. The third task that we have, because elections are so important to us, and we're specifically trying to put people on the ballots for local elections, we need to create a spreadsheet of elected positions in specific counties. We have a template that you need just to fill in information for your county if you can volunteer. The template is an easy spreadsheet shared on the cloud. Counties that we have listed so far with volunteers is Knox County, Tennessee, Sevier County, Tennessee, Putnam County, West Virginia, and Hamlin County, Tennessee. In doing that, not only will we have the elected positions that we are trying to get filled available and listed easily, but we also are going to include things like how much time a candidate would have to do the position well. What we want people to understand is that you yourself might be qualified for a position, even if you didn't know that. And also that you might have the time to be able to commit to a position, even if it seems overwhelming right now. We want to make running so easy that it's trendy. So this movement currently is only 4 days old, and we've already come so far. We've had our message spread, so our numbers have more than doubled and more than tripled already of people that are willing to pledge, share, and volunteer to help us grow. But we need to fill 120,000 spots on ballots with Americans with good morals, so we need to move faster. I get the 120,000 count because in the county I live in, there's about 40 open positions. The county next to mine had about 40 open positions. So on average, 40 positions times the 3,000 counties that are in the United States is 120,000 spots. We want to be clear that we think that local government offices are our best chance to slow the machine that we are currently fighting against. For example, it's the school board members that vote on whether or not they'll ban books. It's the county commissioner that votes on how tax dollars are spent in your local community. And it's the county clerk that awards marriage licenses to all different types of couples. We're doing a Zoom every night at 9 p.m. for just 15 minutes so we can be consistent, efficient, and effective. We plan for this to be a live Zoom call almost every night, but tomorrow it's going to be recorded just because I'm not available and we don't have volunteers yet to lead meetings. If you'd like to lead a meeting, please email us so that way you can do a 15-minute call. Tomorrow, we will still have our daily glimmer of hope. We're going to have actionable steps that you can take at every meeting and help us volunteer to get those tasks done to help us get 120,000 ballots filled. Every day, we're going to have actionable steps for you to easily share. Today, if you could do just the one thing and share this information with somebody else. Our Facebook group has yesterday's meeting posted, which is probably one of the most informative things about what we're doing that you can watch, and it's less than 20 minutes long. This meeting is going to be posted in our Facebook group as well. So we are at 13 minutes in. I want to open the floor if anybody happens to have any questions. Feel free to ask them, and I'm happy to answer. If not, then we'll be returning tomorrow with a recording that will have more actionable steps. But I look forward to hearing from anybody that you know as well as you on ways that you can help us. Just email us if you're willing to be a task manager. Does anybody have any questions? Great. So then the time commitment today was 13 minutes. Thanks for help trying to change the world, and we'll see you tomorrow.